Hello everyone, my name is Rebecca and welcome back to my Pixel Quest. We're continuing with our blind playthrough of Blueprints going into day 46. So maybe you can hear the huge smile I have on my face because I'm so happy about coming back into this game. Oh, guys, it's been a while. It's been a while. I haven't been able to record this for, I'm not even sure how long it is, but it's been too long. Too long. It's been a gap for me. You know, it probably has just been a couple of days since you guys saw the last episode, but it's been a good while since I have been able to record. For one thing, we've been dealing with a quite an extended sort of family crisis situation. Where it's getting there. And on top of that, I've moved apartments, so this is my first time to be recording. I've recorded some other, series on this channel from here, but this is my first Blueprints episode to be recording from my new apartment, so that feels momentous. Okay, I have some things to tell you. So while I haven't been able, oh god, I'm so happy to be back in this game. While I haven't been able to record for a while, what I have been able to do and what I've needed to do just to like get my blueprints fix, right, is to just, puzzle away at my big notebook of notes, and look over my huge, like I've got a major folder on my phone of just blueprints, like photos and screenshots and things like that. So I've been puzzling away. So I'll give you like a little bit of an overview of some of the things. So I've made progress on some things, other things not, or at least progress, but like not answers. You know what I mean? But I've written a few little notes here. So in a way, this is to give you like an idea of some of the things I'm really keen to try and get to this episode, if it comes up, if it's possible. Okay. Some of you will be happy to hear that at the top of this list is I've written clock tower. Got it? Because I have realized that I made a major mistake with the freaking clock tower puzzle, and I just can't explain like why. I can't explain why. But anyway, I realized that like I was just going through, the existing solutions I had to that clock tower puzzle, and I was going through the conditions, systematically, and I went, oh my god, like even though I basically knew them off my heart at this stage, I had just somehow one of them had slipped away from me, and I realized like I didn't have it was like the 5 on the hour times, and I was like, I only had 4 on the hour times. So I went, oh my god, I have to tear this up to pieces now. I didn't quite have to do that, but I did have to make some adjustments to it, and I think I have it. So I think I understand why nothing was happening with that clock tower now, and I'm really keen to get it again. I think I can do it. Similarly, I won't go into details, but I've been, doing loads and loads of puzzling around the showroom puzzles with the art pieces. I think I at least have 1, and I might have 2, and I might have 3. I've had a good go at all of them, so I'm just keen. I'm very, very interested to get showroom and see what I can do with that there. All right, another thing I have some strong suspicions about are at least 3 other places I think that I can use the power hammer. So I'm, who knows if I'll be able to get that today, but I'm very keen to get the power hammer and try some of those places. I won't go into details yet. I'll just kind of take you through this list. I have 1 new or maybe 2 new possible combos for the study safe, so I'm keen to give that a go. I wish, with the previous safe, like I was able to sort of go away and come back with like several theories about it. It's just not happened with the study safe, but I think I've got, like another possible theory for how to tackle this. So keen to try that. This is just an idea. I have here locker room, open all. I mean, it's sort of obvious to try that in a way, but I was just thinking about it. I was like, yeah, I should try and open all of the lockers in the locker room if I can, just to see if that does anything. what if there's a safe in there? That's, or just something else happens. God, there's so much more to take you through. For example, I at least have had a bit more of a think about the red door, like down in the sort of reservoir area, and I think I understand a bit more about how it's intended to work with the boiler that they talk about down there. We found those notes from like the foreman and the miner talking about like a boiler being installed. So I had a look back at that and I was like, okay, I think these two things are the things that are connected, but I don't know where that boiler is. I don't know if the boiler is actually beyond the red room and I need to get there in a different way, or does it mean the boiler in the mansion? That seems sort of unlikely in a way, but anyway, I've been thinking about that. Obviously, I'm very keen, because of what happened in the last episode, to try the chess piece theory in the mansion. Like try and get the rooms that are associated with the chess pieces. And I've taken a look at that, and as it stands, I know how to have a go at doing that, getting the right rooms in the mansion to, that are the equivalent rooms associated with those particular chess pieces. I know how to do that with the white chess pieces. It's not easy, because the problem is one of them involves the ladyship's chamber, which is a room I haven't had a lot of. It's difficult for me to get that room. But technically, I know all of the rooms that are associated with the white chess pieces. If it's black, then I'm stuck, because I actually don't know all of the rooms that are associated with the black chess pieces yet. I'm keen to try the jackhammer on the stump that's over there. That's just one little thing. Maybe not. All right. Now, kind of the next big thing that I will mention. I won't go into huge detail. You know what? Actually, let's go and open the west room, because we've been standing here for a little while. Let's do something. Let's do something while I tell you about this. This is actually something I've just done recently, but I have had a lot of interesting insights come from a new way of understanding the puzzles in this game. Haha. Oh, what an interesting selection. I'm thinking, you know what, actually I'm thinking, I'm so sure that there's still some more interesting things to get from Trading Post. I really, really am. But I'm going to go root cellar. And it's not just my habit. It's because it relates a little bit to what I'm about to say. So I might as well use this as a jumping point. Okay, so we know we want to come back here with shovel. We know, that we found some interesting stuff here with the magnifying glass. All right, so let me tell you, one of the things that I've been doing is analyzing handwriting. And it has opened up this game in a very, very interesting way. And it's just been, oh my God, it's been so much fun. It's been so interesting. So I have been bit by bit, step by step, working out whose handwriting I know for sure. And I've actually, over time, I've actually been able to identify with pretty high certainty most people's handwriting, because the handwriting in this game is consistent. Obviously, I guess what they do is, they're like the work that has gone into this game is amazing, and the handwriting thing is just this whole nother layer that makes this apparent, right? It's just this whole nother layer to the game that shows how much love and craft and work has gone into this. But different characters have distinct handwriting, and in some cases, just naturally through the game, I've been able to start noticing that. Like, this looks like Mary's handwriting. There's quite a lot of things from Mary. Well, through doing this, I've realized there's way more things from Mary than I realized. But I'll get to that. Obviously, a lot of things from, Herbert. But again, through the analysis, I have been able to actually start to pinpoint exactly which things have been written by Herbert, exactly which things have been written by Mary, and a lot of other insights. So it's been so fascinating. And I, again, these are things that I can sort of talk about as we go through the game and I encounter them. But there's a couple in this room, and this was mind-blowing to me. So I have since realized that even though I came back and looked at the family tree with the magnifying glass, I must never have come back and looked at this with the magnifying glass. But I did discover by looking at the picture of this on my phone kind of, again and again, and I was looking at this handwriting and doing my analysis of it. It's Mary's. This is Mary's handwriting, which was already mind-blowing enough, right? Like, Mary has written, no sign has been found yet. I mean, I don't know if she's the one who underlined a sign because it's in a different color, so I wonder if that's a different person. But nevertheless, that is Mary. Mary has written this. That's interesting, and I still haven't figured out the to my I don't know, frustration, shame, or just whatever. I haven't figured out the XYZ ABC stuff in a new clue, but I did notice when I was looking at this that at the bottom in faint sort of I don't know, pencil lines is XYZ ABC. Now, obviously there's a connection between that and the word sign, and between Mary being missing and how we follow her trail / find her. I don't know. I haven't figured that out yet. I haven't figured out what this XYZ ABC thing means, but it was momentous to find out these two things about this note that I hadn't come back to previously. So that was huge. I have also, the reason for this handwriting analysis is that I wanted to figure out, so we found with the magnifying glass, there's two bits of text down the bottom in the roots here. One says Simon P. Jones and the other one says the besoiled child. The reason I started this is because I wanted to know who wrote Simon P. Jones. It's a very distinct handwriting style. I haven't found that out. Through all of this massive amount of handwriting analysis I've done, I actually still don't know the answer to that question. I haven't found any equivalent handwriting that is in that style. My current theory is that, and this is where I started with anyway, is that Simon wrote that himself, 7 years or more ago when he was previously on the estate. He probably came across this, and it seems so normal. It seems like a very natural thing for a kid to go, that's my mum. Oh, I'm here, and to write themselves in small text, that just feels that feels like something that would happen. And we have Simon's current handwriting, examples of his current handwriting at age 14, and we have examples of his early childhood handwriting, which are in the, in some of the library, borrowing cards. By the way, those borrowing cards, I've realized, are a gold mine for handwriting analysis. It's kind of where so many of the, where you can get so many examples of what people's handwriting is. So that's incredible, and that's been really helpful. So anyway, I suppose my best guess is that, of course, a kid's handwriting changes massively, through their childhood. And it seems quite possible that handwriting here is Simon, just a bit older, a bit in between these two ages. So that's one thing. But I have found out who wrote The Besoiled Child, and that surprised me because I really didn't know who would have done it, and it was Herbert. Herbert wrote The Besoiled Child, because I know his handwriting backwards now. So that's incredibly interesting. I'm still really interested in what this is, this hole in the ceiling. But anyway, so there you go. This is just some of the many things I have learned through this analysis, which has just again been a weird thing that has kind of flipped this game for me. And I have some maybe some mundane realizations from doing all of this. I have some pretty gobsmacking realizations from doing all of this, and I have some big questions from doing all of this as well. So I'm just looking at some of the notes that I have here. We'll head into the house. Obviously, with root cellar, getting a shovel is going to be a priority, but I'm happy to do it. So we're starting with our 2 gems now because we because we finally have the what is it called? The here we go. It's been too long. I'm sorry, guys. The buttons got away from me. The gemstone cavern. We have the gemstone cavern now. So I get my 2 gems to start the day off, which is absolutely phenomenal. All right. Let me tell you, before we get started, like a couple of incredible things or interesting things that I've learned from the handwriting analysis. So that quite a lot of things have been written by Herbert. That's no surprise. But I have established that included in this are, for example, some of the handwritten red notes, such as the one in the clock tower, the one saying about ascending order, those sorts of things. Like, it's no surprise Herbert wrote that. Herbert is the one who wrote the note that's in the music room that says denoted in verse. And I have thought about that and sort of realized, like, oh, it might mean denoted inverse. So what is the inverse of denoted? Well, if you're talking about the word, it's detoned. But I don't know. I don't know what that means or if I'm going in the right direction with that. But yeah. All right. So one of the other notes that Herbert has written is in the study. Herbert is the one who wrote the note saying, I don't know if it's possible with so little time left, but I need to remember to ask Anne if we can commission you artwork for all the rooms of the house, etc., etc. This has been a little bit mind-blowing for me, because realizing that Herbert wrote this, I realized that what he has written is, I don't know if it's possible with so little time left, blah, 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 blah. And then later on in the note, it says, I'm likely delusional to think this can be pulled off by Thursday. That is a little bit too much planning of your own death, I have to say. That's a bit ridiculous. Like, because what they've said he died of is like a heart problem, right? Now, it wasn't unthinkable previously for me to go, okay, maybe he realized he had a pretty bad heart problem since the beginning of the year, because we know he did his, he at least adapted his, he changed his will in May. That's the, sequence we get at the start of the game. And so, if you know that, you might know, oh, I probably have a certain amount of months left or something like that. Maybe, you could kind of think about it in that way. But to go, I'm going to die on Thursday? No, like that, no, no. So, look, I've always held space for the idea that Herbert is not dead. And this is one of the biggest red flags for me, I have to say. Probably he would prefer I said a black flag, but red flags that Herbert either has, something else has happened to him, or maybe he died in some other way. Maybe he's gone. Like, maybe, you know what I mean? Like, obviously he's gone, but like, maybe he's gone in some other way. Maybe he's escaped to another realm. Maybe he did actually leave, Maybe I'm still also thinking, that time could play a bigger role in all of this than I suspect. Maybe he's gone back in time. Maybe that's where Mary's gone. Maybe that's what our dad meant in his note, saying like, she's gone into the, what was it, like the night of 1,000, I don't know, like the journey of 1,000 nights or something. I've forgotten what the phrase was. So that's one thing. Let's do this in bits and bobs. Let's get started with the day. All right. I think workshop I'd love billiard room, but no, I'm going to do workshop. Workshop is a room that is more and more fun to me all the time. Broken lever, that is great if I'm going to do my power hammer or my jackhammer. So that's nice. E, for whatever that means, and noting that we've got a digs button here. Okay, now I might do my usual thing of going elsewhere to see if we can pick up some redraw dice, because I would still really, really love to get the conservatory. Okay, parlor might be totally perfect here. Yep, let's do that. Let's get our gems. Let's get our gems. Just thought I saw something by my feet. Okay. Hello, uncle. Are you dead? Are you actually here standing? Is this like maybe not a picture? You're just standing in a window here? Suspicious. Okay, and no mark in the fireplace this morning. Great. And by the way, I should say, I still do not know who M. Lowry is. Through all of this, I haven't got that. That one hasn't come up. I still don't know who Lord Evanson is. Alright, the gems are in a box with a false statement. Could be true, could be false. Only one statement is true. Could be true, could be false. But if this one is true, then it means these two are false. Only one statement is false. Ah. Okay. Well, these two are at odds together. Only one statement is false. Only one statement is true. These two cannot both be true. Can they both be false though? So if two are false, no, this would mean two are true. So these two are different. That's what we know. One is true and one is false. The gems are in a box with a false statement. Well, from that alone, I don't know about this one. So let's do if then. Let's do if then. If this one is true, then that means this is the true box and this is false. Only one statement is false, so that works out because it would be two that are... Hang on. Hang on. If this one is true, then two statements are false. Only one statement is false. Yes, so this would be false, meaning indeed two of them are false. And that would mean that this is false, meaning that the gems are in here, the true box. Okay, so that one actually works out. What if this is false? Only one statement is true could mean that two of them are true, but it would have to mean that this one, was false. So it would have to mean that this one is true and this one is true. The gems are in a box with a false statement. Only one statement is false, which would work out. And that would mean that this is the false statement that has the gems in it. So again, that makes sense, and it does lead again to this box. So we have two things that work out. So maybe I just do this. Maybe I just do this, crossing my fingers, because I know I haven't done this as... Oof! Honestly, I felt like that was kind of lucky, because I felt like I needed to do a bit more work to really confirm that. Okay, alright. Okay, great. Well, let's, even though I know it's using a step, I'd prefer to go on rank 1 for this next bit. Oh, courtyard could get us the... I think courtyard, right? Courtyard could get us the shovel. Please. Shovel. Oh well. Oh well. So hang on, nothing? No items. Really? Really? Courtyard, what are you doing to me? Oh well, at least it's giving me some. Okay, all right. Well, we've got a range of dig spots for when we do get it. So maybe let's prioritize getting the commissary or something like that. That would be great. Oh, I could just make a sort of a circular bit here. I really don't want to lose, these ways of going forward. So I actually might go as far as putting passageway here. Maybe that's a bit nuts, but I do have the 2 extra gems to play with, so yeah, let's give that a go. All right, so let's try, because I am keen to try and get Ladyship's chamber actually, what I might try and do is again go up so that I can draft southwards. The other possibility is being able to get up the foundation to sort of draft from here, but I would need the security pass to do that. Anyway, let's give it a go. I would love to get the solarium, but I don't really want to use this dead end. I really don't want a dead end here, ideally. Of course, I've still got to try the furnace. I've still got to try the furnace, but actually, I think, even though it uses a gem, I think I'm going to go observatory. We'll get some goodies from observatory, for sure. Great. And it... Oh. You snuck that one up on me, eh? You snuck that one up on me, Draxus, eh? And you think you're gonna smooth it over with the sail. I see. Alright. Okay. Alright. And obviously, it probably goes without saying, I'm extremely keen, of course, to get, schoolhouse and get those 8 classrooms. But it's it's not going to happen today. But this is definitely going to happen today. Oh my God, I've been so keen to get Dormitory. This? Yes. So I really think that this is Mary's room, because she's the one who's been studying. Clara University. I saw these things on the image of the dormitory here, and obviously couldn't quite make out what they were. Clara University. So that's where she went away to university. Clara. I am so 100% getting that as my next inner sanctum room. I am so interested in that because it's now that we've seen classroom number 4, I know there's something special about it, but I don't know what it is. So yeah, super interested, and now extra interested in it. All right, Clara University. Mary's got a sinker clock. She got her little globe. Table tennis. A bowling pin? Maybe it has special meaning for her. Her little bag. Oh, thank you, Mary! Hey! And what is this drafting strategy gonna be? Oh my God. Okay. Volume 2. Huh. Okay, well, yeah, we're definitely gonna have to try and get the magnifying glass with a new room on, a new book on offer. My type of room, the categorization of floor plan subtypes. As architects, we know that designing a building is a complex and multifaceted process. From the layout to the details, every decision we make can have a significant impact on the final result. Perhaps that's why we're always looking for ways to improve our craft and refine our ideas. In this edition of Drafting Strategy, we're excited to introduce a useful concept that can take your designs to the next level: room subtypes. While we've previously explored the use of coloured floor plans to categorize the basic kinds of rooms, in this issue we will be examining architectural symbols that can be used to further classify and differentiate the types of rooms in your house. Great. These symbols provide the draftsman with a visual way to indicate the purpose and function of a room, whether it's a designated workspace, a utility control room, or a conundrum. A conundrum. I didn't know they were called that. These subtype symbols can communicate the intended use of a room at a quick glance. By including these symbols on their floor plans, architects can make it easier for contractors and builders to understand their vision and bring it to life. But the benefits of floor plan categorization go beyond just clarity. By understanding the identifying subtypes, architects can craft strategies that surpass the surface level, simplistic approaches commonly used by inexperienced drafters. All right. The craft of the draft. Drafting rooms are floor plans that affect the draft pool or the drafting process. As such, they are spaces that are often designed for activities related to academic pursuits and research. Some of their common features include floor plan redrawing, draft pool manipulation, and rarity adjustments. As students of the art of drafting, aspiring architects can greatly benefit from the knowledge, experience, and learning opportunities these rooms offer. Yeah. In a class of its own, academia isn't only found in the mountains of Clara. Hey! Oh man, so interesting. So now this is also so good because I don't have all of the information for the Clara sigil yet. I have a few, and I had others I was willing to guess. I was willing to play around with them. But this is telling me that probably the moat of Clara is most likely academia, right? Mwah! Chef kiss, so good. Classroom is a great example of the scholastic strategies that this room type has to offer. Not only does it provide synergy for other drafting rooms, but it's also a valuable source of information and knowledge. Hell yes it is. Hell yes it is, oh my god. Did you know, I'm just having a look at this picture to see if anything looks magnifiable. The classrooms you'll find will fall under one of 8 different grades, ranging from first grade to the culmination of your academic journey, grade 8. However, there are rumors of an additional annex. Oh, that's not what I expected actually. I thought they meant an additional classroom, because we've seen that you can get a classroom in the drafting studio. Okay, an additional annex classroom at Mount Holly Elementary, used solely for exams and student testing, but finding it has been near impossible as it requires drafting more than 8 classrooms. Well, maybe that still is the one that you can enable through the drafting studio. Okay, shifting gears. Far from look at this duck. I love it. That's really interesting. It's kind of a style that we haven't seen in this game very much. Far from the pristine white pages of academia, the mechanical world is a rugged industrial space marked by the symbol of the gear and stained with the grime of heavy machinery. These floor plans prioritize function over aesthetics, and the design of each mechanical room reflects this focus on efficiency. These rooms serve as the command centers for estate operations, housing the control systems that keep everything running smoothly. Ducks, ducks, ducks! 3-way rooms split ducks 3 ways. Boiler room is known as a power source because it provides steam power to various rooms in the house. Steam is conveyed room to room via ducts that run across the ceiling, and power can be transported across great distances as long as you continue to string together rooms that contain power ducts. So when you're in a room, look up, there might be a duct. Did you know drafting from a door that is steam powered will increase the likelihood of drawing rooms with ducts? I definitely had that impression. It definitely happens that way, so yeah. Confirmation. No time like the future. Some rooms offer long-term benefits rather than immediate resources. These floor plans, known as tomorrow rooms, are considered an investment for the future, and they offer the forward-thinking architect a number of strategies that will pay dividends down the road. Strategic planning is critical to drafting success, and knowing when to forsake the current day's progress to set yourself up for a prosperous future is a critical decision that each architect will encounter. I have done it on a couple of occasions at least. Time freeze. Nothing better exemplifies setting yourself up for tomorrow at the expense of today than freezer. I have been able to use the freezer in this way several times, which is good. But drafters who may not want to totally abandon their current day's progress will be pleased to know that there are a few clever ways to manipulate frozen assets. This I didn't know! Entering furnace or sauna after drafting freezer will thaw any frozen gems or gold you are carrying, and you will once again be able to use them. I did not know that, but to be honest, I've done the freezer pretty much at the end of every day, you know, when there are no more drafting possibilities. So I haven't really used freezer and then gone on to have any drafting possibilities. So, but very useful to know. However, if you still wish your accounts to carry over to the next day, you will have to refreeze your assets again by re-entering freezer. Oh, it's just very interesting to know that it works that way. Warning: if furnace is drafted within a few ranks of freezer, then the temperature will start rising and everything will melt, including your assets. If the temperature gets too high, refreezing will no longer be possible. Yep. So, I mean, I did pretty much know about the proximity thing, but I haven't thought about this without powering up the furnace. So yeah, that's interesting. Maybe even without getting the furnace powered up, maybe I can still thaw. I know that I won't be able to thaw everything in the freezer, but maybe I can thaw some things. Perplexing plans. Any architect who loves a challenge inevitably ends up drafting a few puzzle rooms in their house. These floor plans, marked only with a single and enigmatic jigsaw piece, lack accompanying text and explanations, as if to suggest that even understanding the room's function is part of the puzzle. Some puzzle rooms, like parlour and billiard room, become increasingly difficult as you solve them, evolving over time as you progress. They don't tell you too much about this type. Spreading your wings. The final type of room we will cover in this issue is the spread room. These floor plans enable the architect to spread out among many rooms, spread out items among many rooms. When items are spread, they are only placed in current active rooms in the house. The number of items that are spread is determined by the number of rooms on your estate. Waiting until your house is bigger will provide larger spreads. Strategies that employ spread rooms are often centered around travel and backtracking, which can be an issue, but yeah. I wanted to use this segment to thank all our readers for the wonderful mail and feedback we've received after we sent out our very first issue of Drafting Strategy. It's incredibly rewarding to create. I love this so much because it really is like reading any kind of special interest magazine, which in my childhood were, even bigger than they are now. Like, magazines were such a huge thing. And personally, I grew up with, like, when I was a kid, we had an C64 at one point and an Amiga 500. So these were kind of the computers that I grew up with. And we used to occasionally get like some Amiga magazines. And it was, I would just pore over them as a kid and, look at circle things I wanted and, just look at everything over and over and over again. So I just love this vibe of like this, this nerdy special interest magazine that has a community and the editors are talking to their community. It's so cool. It's incredibly rewarding to create something that is appreciated. It's even more rewarding to know that somewhere out there a young architect is reading our magazine and getting inspired to build something of his own that may one day in turn inspire others. When I was a child, I vividly remember the experience of reading the memoirs of the court's grand architect, Louisa T. Rayland. To say it changed me is an understatement. It had a profound effect on the way I view the world and the spaces within it. We each draft our own dreams as a child, faint sketches on blurry blueprints, illegible to all, especially ourselves. And our purpose? Why, it is found hidden in the floor plans of our youth. That is so lovely and beautiful. I love getting this more personal insight into the editor. The court's grand architect, Louisa T. Rayland. Interesting. All right. So yeah, I'll definitely try and come back here if I can with the magnifying glass. That is an exceptionally lovely lamp. Maybe that's like a Carrarica style lamp. So this is the one thing I could see. I could see from the you know, the plan itself that there was a chessboard in here. Okay, and we've black pawn, yep. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess what it's saying is Mary plays chess. Mary plays chess. She's smart, she plays chess. But that Carrarica University stuff and tennis. Chess, tennis. She's a pretty bowling, table tennis. And rowing? Is that rowing? I can only imagine that's rowing. So she's doing a lot of extracurricular activities. So probably more secrets to be had in our mysterious Mary's room. I would not doubt. But if that's all we get, that is plenty. That is a real help, Mary. The radio. Yeah. But nothing I can see to interact with just yet. So one of the other things that I've done, I said I was going to do this in a previous episode, is I have actually added to my big map that I've got a drawn map of all of the, I mean, not just all of the realms, you know, but like all of the extra information that we've gotten from like 4th classroom and things like that is all on there, like the sea names and things like that. But I've also I've also added these lines, and I think, I don't 100% know this, but I think, I heavily suspect that they're the same, like on every globe. It seems every time I've looked at them on different sources, and I feel like I'm seeing the same lines going from place to place. Between the realms now, but I don't know what it means. I don't know what it means because there are so many of them. There are so many of them. So yeah. Anyway, doesn't seem to be anything extra on here though. Okay, incredibly interesting. Mary went to Carrarica. So I wonder if that's because Carrarica would be east from here, and we've seen references to the east. That could be it. That could be it. Alright, well anyway, I've dead-ended this for the time being. We do have the sale today, which is nice. Well, I guess I might as well just use this and see what we get of it. Aha. Well, I can't do vault. I don't have the gems anymore. Maybe since I can draft below, this is a good place for a utility closet. Like, we could draft here and then have a go at drafting southwards to get, you know, Ladyship's chamber. But, yeah, I don't know. I think I'm going to go with this. I'm going to go with this. Yeah, and we've got a dig spot in here. Cool. So thankfully the indicator stuff is good. I think before I hit this, I'm not sure. I feel like I probably need to set it to offline mode in the security room first before doing this. Yeah, because I think offline mode like happens when a blackout occurs. But we can turn the gymnasium off, garage on. All right, that'll do for now. But we've got this available if we need it. All right, with all of that said, I guess let's have a go at this. And we do have 2 die. Okay. I mean, it would be great to put either of these here. It's a good spot for a dead end. I might... and I'm going to get dead ends more often, that's the other thing. But let's try one redraw. Ah. Okay. These are all good. These are all good. Commissary could deliver me... No, I actually, you know what? Like, Commissary could deliver me the shovel. And that's super useful for today. But I do have Draxus. Dead ends are going to be more common. So I think I should do my best to make use of spaces to put dead ends. So I'm going to do walk-in closet. I now have no gems. But I now have two gems. And I now have a coin purse and a key. Great. Okay. Super useful. Thank you, Clara. So by the way, since we're here talking about Clara, the handwriting analysis has revealed some things that have really thrown me about Clara. And I don't know what to think about them. I really don't. So, hang on, let me just double check. So there's, so we cannot draft any more from here. It's a bit of a shame, but like, look, it's fine. Again, if I have a short day, having gotten Dormitory, I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it. Like, that new room is enough. It's enough, you know? We can continue in the next day. Let's see what magic we can make from workshop. But I'm pleased with that. If that's as far as we go, I'm very pleased with it. It's been a useful day. Okay. Ooh, well, it's really going to have to be kitchen just to have any hope of anything. So, you know, again, I could redraw, but I think I need to keep that redraw with me till I'm a little bit safer. So let's see. Nice to have the window. Oh, we get the little sail thing here as well. Steps isn't really an issue right now, so, but it's nice to see that this is all much more affordable. That's good. Turn this on for fun. Okay. Let's see how we go. Oh, master bedroom. Oh my god. I'd love to get it, but I actually can't anyway. I'd love to get wine cellar again. I still heavily suspect there's a safe in here. But I'm thinking maybe I go back there with power hammer, maybe even. I don't know. Maybe that's it. But pantry's the only thing that's going to allow us to go forward, so let's do that. Let's just have a go. Have a go at seeing if we can squeeze some more out of this day. With Draxus, which makes it a mighty challenge. Alright. It's going to have to be hallway. I'm sorry to these other rooms that I would really, really like to get. But, yeah. I won't do that yet because I might need the key. We'll see how we go. Ay. Okay, it's at least it's quick and easy to make these decisions because I have to choose the things that allow me to go forward. So, den it is. It's a shame to lose that other den exit, but I gotta do it. And oh boy, let's just see. Okay. Oh no, I'd really like to get study to have a go at it, but not enough that I want to pass up the opportunity to, yeah. All right, let's see what commissary is going to deliver for me. No shovel. Okay. No shovel. But magnifying glass, so that's cool. We could go back and have a look at the book, if nothing else. Sledgehammer, so we don't have to use a key on that trunk. And I mean, you know, might as well buy all this other stuff, right? We might as well just try and make things as easy as we can. Great. Okay. All right. Everyone cross your fingers. Cross your fingers and toes. Oh. Ah, lame. Okay. So dead ends is the end of the day. That's just that. Showroom I can't do because I don't have the gem. Maybe it was a bit silly of me to open this door without... Well, I guess I have no choice, right? I have no choice. So we have to use the redraw. Oh. Okay, well, I have to do the boiler room because I just need the exit possibilities. Okay. That's something. That's something. So... it would be wise to go back and open that trunk because there may be gems or keys in there. So let's do that. Let's do that. Couple of keys. That's good. No gems. Yeah, anyway, so what I was saying about Clara. So I've been able to find a fair few things. It was actually like the main way that I was able to identify Clara's handwriting, at least as far as I'm gonna say I'm like, 95% sure I know what Clara's handwriting is, and it's because she has an entry in the card catalogue of the Fixed Stars book in the library. So her handwriting matches up with a few things that are unsurprising. It matches up with the note in her room that says, and obviously I'm extra keen to get into her diary now to like really confirm her handwriting. But I think this is it. Unsurprisingly, it matches up with the note that's in her room that says, "Does it never end?" It was tricky though because Clara's handwriting has some similarities to Mary's handwriting. They're actually very distinct, but things like the S, Mary has a very, very distinctive S, and so Clara has a very, very similar kind of S as well. But otherwise, they're quite different. So Clara has done the note in her room that says, "Does it never end?" Not a huge surprise, but great to get that confirmed. I've also realized that a lot of the handwriting that we see just in the UI of this game is particular handwriting from particular people. So her ladyship's diary, for example, has her ladyship is written in Clara's handwriting, which is just neat. Like, that's just a really cool detail. But one of the things that was interesting is that the postcards that are in the gift shop, the Merry Christmas one, Merry Christmas, is written in Clara's handwriting. I kind of, that was, like, as I was starting to look at it and I noticed the S, I thought, oh, it's Mary's handwriting, Merry Christmas, kind of makes sense. But no, it's Clara, it's written in Clara's handwriting. But in a way, maybe that's not surprising because the picture, the Merry Christmas postcard, is of the boudoir, which is, a Clara room. Something else that surprised me is that some of the red notes, the handwritten red notes I found, are written by Clara. I haven't looked at all of them yet, but I know that, for example, the one that's in the reservoir that says a box in the water contains 3 allowance tokens, which turned out to be true, is Clara. Clara wrote that one. So that's interesting to excuse me. It's interesting to think about, like, of course, like, Clara has lived in this mansion, with Herbert, and she's part of the family. Like, of course she would be part of, like, a part of making a lot of the puzzles and secrets and things that are going on in the house. But yeah, that's just really interesting to think about. Another one that surprised me is I am fairly sure, if I'm correct about all of this, that Clara wrote the note that we see in the lab, the little hidden text on the note about the freezer that says the cooler is unaffected. So that's interesting, and I don't know why she would have written that. So I'm very, very, very interested to get into that freezer and see the stuff that's there, because I wonder if it's Clara relevant, Yeah, and none of that is even the thing that's blowing my mind. So the thing that's really blowing my mind about Clara is that, and and I don't know what to think about this. It's kind of broken my brain. The Red Prince book in the master bedroom. Sorry, we're looking at a door. Like this, let's look up here. I don't know. All right, guys. The Red Prince book that's in the master bedroom has a note at the front of it that says, to my encouraging uncle who opened many doors for me, ever grateful, Mary. And then it has a small note under it about changing the ending. All of that text is in Clara's handwriting. I don't know what to think about that. It's so weird that it makes me wonder if it is just a mistake. Like if Clara's handwriting was used. But like, why would... Like, I have no reason to think that they've made a mistake about this. It could just be that. It could just be that the developers just, made a mistake here. But... but obviously I have to entertain, what if they haven't? What does this mean? That Clara is the one who has written as Mary, to my encouraging uncle who opened many doors for me, ever grateful, Mary. By the way, they made me change the ending, blah, blah, blah. Clara wrote that. Her mother, who... It's made me realize I don't really know when Red Prince was written. And I have to have a think about that. Was Red Prince even published while Clara was still alive? And with that said, I have to consider, is Clara actually dead? I have to consider, is Herbert actually dead? Is Clara actually dead? Is Simon actually dead? What the hell? Anyway, oh man, this has all broken my brain, but so that's where I'm at with that. There's a lot more stuff that has, excuse me, there's a lot more stuff that has come from this handwriting analysis. I'll get to some of it when we get to it. But like that one, I think it was literally last night that I clocked that. And I was like, what? How? I can't make sense of this yet. Why? If Clara is the one who wrote that note, as if from Mary, why? What does it mean? Why? Why would that be? Anyway, so with no gems but 3 keys, let's try and open this door to the west. Oi. All right. So, and we've got no redraws, so we're stuck with what we get at this stage. Maybe library is just the most useful. Yeah, I mean, I can't do that. I don't really want to, even though I've got money, it's okay. I start the day with a lot of money these days anyway, but I don't want to start the day with 0 gems. So, I mean, I do want to try and thaw the freezer. So if I could get the furnace nearby, maybe that would be, I'm literally like maybe changing my mind now that I say this. I wish I already had furnace. I mean, there's still stuff I want to do in the library. That's the thing. No, I'm going to do library. Okay. Because I have this waiting for me. Awesome. 2 new drafting strategies in one day. Again, if the day ends here, very, very good. Very, very good day. Very good day. It is a very good day, but this day is not ending here. But unfortunately, this episode has to end here. So I'm sorry to do it to you again. I always feel really bad doing these cliffhanger endings, but look forward to the next episode. And yeah, there's going to be a lot more to this day coming up, including this book right in front of us. So thank you so much, everybody, for watching as always, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.